Oké, dus de intro story zeg maar, Josso Fitness. Where did we start? Because we all start somewhere, right? Well, where did I start? I will tell you after I cross this road. Okay, we need to go straight. Alright, so let me tell you guys, yeah? It's quite a simple story actually, where I started, why I did what I did, and why I'm at the point where in my life where I'm at right now, you know, with the physique, with the mindset, I guess, with everything. Like, I know how it works. I'm not always the best follower of my own advice, but I know how it works, which is the most important, you know, because a lot of people, they know how it works, but they've never really put it into practice, and I have, so I kind of know. Right, so my story, my fitness journey, it starts in, let me turn off Nicki Minaj in my area. Okay. Nicki Minaj doesn't want to be turned off, so we have to hard mute her, which is fine. Right, okay, we have to just go straight, left, right. Straight, left, right. Alright, look at this shit. Alright, so let's start with my story, yeah? So, when I started with fitness, I weighed 62 kilos. I would say I was rather skinny, but if I show people the pictures that I look like, they would say, oh, you already had a six-pack, or you already had like this definition or that definition. And well, and to these people I say it's quite simple. I've never been like a big eater, you know? My parents didn't want me to be like a fat guy, so I've never been fat. It's that simple. I feel like that's more normal. I feel like it's more normal to be skinny than to be fat. You know what I mean? But that's just me. That's just my opinion. You know, maybe it's because maybe I'm a little Asian, so maybe the genetics are different, right? The metabolism and stuff like that. I don't really know. I feel like everyone just kind of has the same. The only difference being that we all have a different routine. So some of us we move more, some of us we move less, some of us we eat better, and some of us we just don't eat good, you know. And if you combine the not eating good with the straight, left, straight. Right, so I feel like if you kind of combine the not eating properly with the no exercise, then it makes sense kind of that you are fat or that you are not in shape, you know. But the most important thing about that is that you kind of know where you went wrong, right? So if you just fix both of these things, then you can be in the best shape, which is kind of what I did, you know. I used to be 62 kilos, skinny, little physique, little six-pack, but I mean everyone has a six-pack, you know. When you were born, whoever's fucking watching this, when you were born, you had a six-pack. It's that simple. Everyone has a six-pack, you know. It's you guys just eat too much. But okay, let me continue my story, yeah. So I was 23 years old. I was a little depressed, I would say. I was working my job. I was just gaming a lot. Just gaming, drinking Monster. I had a relationship, didn't really make me happy. So I felt that something needed to change. You know, a lot of people, they ask me this, you know, and like the main reason why I went to the gym, like I never wanted to be some physique lord, you know. Like the life that I'm living right now, I never really chose this, but I just kind of, it happened. But you know, a lot of people, they ask me like, where do you get the motivation to do this? You know, why are you this guy? And the only thing I tell them is that I was looking in the mirror, and this guy that looked back at me, he wasn't happy, you know. He was looking at me like he fucking hated me, and I hated him. And I've looked this guy in his eyes for you know, quite a couple of times already in my life. I'm 27, so I kind of know what he should be looking like, you know. I kind of know what his eyes should be standing like, and if they're not like that, then I need to change, you know. So I started going to the gym. I told myself that I needed to do better. So I went to the gym, 13th of March, 2023, and I just went non-stop for three months, every day. And I have the fucking notes to prove it in my phone. Yeah, I'm not some bullshitter who's gonna tell you that I did something and I don't did it. You know, like my motivation back then, it was higher because I had something to prove. You know, and now I also have something to prove, but it's different. It's a different proof. You know, I found myself, and now I'm kind of looking at what I want to do. You know, but let's just get back to the story. So yeah, I was 23. I wasn't happy. I just went to the gym, and I didn't really have like a schedule. I just did whatever I wanted to do. You know, I'm a very special guy when it comes to that. Like, I don't really like following other people's schedules, or that's not really my style. You know, I always like it to do it in my own way. And apparently my own way worked out better than like 95% of the people that go to the gym. So that's why you could learn something from me. You know, you could sign up and I could teach you what I know. Everything that I do is natural, next to like creatine and mass gainers. So yeah, no tren, no, I don't even know what these people use, man. Steroid, I just say steroids and tren. And then you have the Anvar, you also have, I think. Some guy told me about it, Anvar. Anvar? I don't even know. Peptides, we don't do this shit, you know, we just clean. Clean, natural bodybuilding. Understanding what you do, why you do it, so the muscle grow, because it needs to grow, because the muscle is like, oh, I'm dying, you know, if I don't grow. And then we have the nutrition as well, that I can also do. So we have the fitness exercises, everything, from the toes to the top. Well, we don't do the top, because my brain is kind of cooked, but up until here, yeah, we training. To this point, we training. So yeah, that's it, you know, like my expertise mainly is that I gained 19 kilos of muscle in 1 year. That's what I do, you know, just clean muscle, clean exercise, never get injured, never do exercises that get injuries, but just training, you know, like fitness actually. Like, I put the fit in fitness. I put the knowledge, not from the books, like everything I know, everything that I have learned. Of course, you learn some exercises from your friends, right? Like, duh. I mean, not necessarily learning, but they do them, and then you try them. Maybe you optimize them, make them better, and then, you know. So like the only guy that I really watched when I was like starting really and didn't know what to do, it was Scott Herman. Scott Herman Fitness. He's my guy, man. He's my goat. He's my fucking goat. If I ever meet this guy and I can take a picture with him, then it's my goat, man. He put me on the right track, you know. I knew that if I was looking for an exercise, and the first result that popped up would be Scott Herman Fitness, then I would be like, damn, you know, we got this. So I think I could say that he kind of inspired me to do this, you know. Not really, but kinda, I would say, kinda. So yeah, that's kind of my story. Like my first year, it was the most interesting because I gained a lot. The second year, it was mainly just maintaining what I had, kind of growing a little bit more. The year after, so I was 2023, I was 62. 2024, I was 80. 2025, I was 85, but I was kind of fat because I was just eating a lot. I wasn't really training properly. I was still like in a good shape, but just wasn't happy with how I was looking. You know, you guys would call that body dysmorphia probably because I was still looking like binky, but it just wasn't really feeling like my neck was kind of fat and my jaw was kind of getting fat, you know. And that happens when you work out and you have a good diet. When you work out and you have a diet, but the diet is not really optimized, you know, like it can always be better. I was still gaining muscle, you know, but yeah, I felt like it wasn't the right way to do it. So then I kind of stopped. Now I slimmed down to like 76, 77, I think. And in 1 month I have to become some next-gen personal trainer on some beach in Thailand. So then I kind of have to lock in again. I have 2 months to gain like 5 kilos of muscle. Yeah, and I'm gonna take you guys with me on the journey, and you can see how I do it, what I do, what I eat, how I sleep. That's it, you know? I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of a scuffed vlog, but it's okay, because we all have to start somewhere, right? The first time that I went to the gym, 13th of March, I can still remember it very vividly. I went to the hip abductor, first exercise that I did. Because I didn't know what to do, so I was just like, fuck it, then I'm just gonna do something and I'm gonna just do it, you know? And I sat down, I did it, I did the one next to it, next to it, next to it, and in that way I just did all the machines in like one day. Because the thing is, if you have no idea what you're doing in the gym, that's the absolute best thing there is. Because then you can do everything you want, you know? If you go into the gym and you already have like a personal trainer, you have like some kind of knowledge that your friends maybe gave you, you know, it's never going to work out because it's not made for you, you know. Maybe it's made for them, maybe it helps them, but it doesn't work for you. And that's the beauty of what I do. What I do works for everyone. Doesn't matter if you are a granny. Doesn't matter if you are a granny, if you're a granddad, if you're a father, if you're a child that's fucking 16, if you're 18, 21, 30, 40, 50, it doesn't fucking matter. Because what I do, when you think about it, and you put it in practice, it actually makes a lot of sense. And what all these people do in the gym, the normal ones, the personal trainers that they come from the college, from the university, you know, they learn from the book how it works, and they have smaller bicep than me. Like it doesn't work like that, you know. And I don't want to put myself on some pedestal and say that I'm the best, but I feel like I'm onto something, and I'm gonna share that with you guys in these videos on my YouTube, on my TikTok, on my Instagram. So stay tuned, you know, if you're interested in that, if you're interested in becoming a different man, a better man, because I would say that I'm not the same man as I was 3 years ago, you know. I've learned a lot, I've met a lot of people, I've had a lot of experiences, I traveled a lot. I went to Dubai, I went to Finland, I went to Thailand, I'm in, where am I now? Japan, you know. I went to France, so yeah, I've done a lot in these. I went to Poland as well, of course. Poland, can't forget Poland. You know, and it wouldn't be for fitness. Like if I couldn't have done this without the fitness that I couldn't have done this without just looking in. You know, looking at this guy in the fucking mirror 3 years ago and telling him, you're not good enough. You are not good enough. Maybe in the future, but right now you're not good enough. We need to put some effort into you. And then maybe one day, you know, we can look in the mirror and we can be happy. We can be happy again with what we see in the mirror. We can see the fire in the eyes, we can see the happiness in the eyes. Because that's what it's about. You know, a lot of people, they don't really, they look in the mirror, but they don't look in the mirror. You know what I mean? They look to see if the hair is good, if they have the pimples, but they don't look at themselves. And they be looking at the boyfriend or the girlfriend in the eyes, romantic and shit, you know. They don't even look themselves in the fucking eye, you know. Look yourself in the eye and tell yourself what you want. Because I did. And this is never what I wanted, where I'm at right now. But I'm happy that I made the choice. You know, you don't know what you want until life starts changing and you see what it has to offer. Because if you don't know, I have this one friend, yeah, and all he does is he sits at home. He just smokes the whole day, you know, and that's what he does, you know. And I tell him, hey, don't you want more from life? Yeah, this and that, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. You know, that's fine. You know, I've been friends with him for a very long time, but sometimes you just don't really match anymore, you know. I don't want to say that I'm like going up, he's staying the same, but it's just sometimes you just don't match, you know. You don't feel the same energy with the same people that you've always hung around. I don't know. Alright boys, it's time for some 7-Eleven. My battery is half, but I have 2 extras. I have 2 extra batteries, so we are Gucci. We are Gucci. Alright, I'm gonna give you one more shot of the 7. One more shot of the Thailand. No, the Japan. And now we're gonna go to a little park. Maybe we'll do some push-ups there. maybe we'll meet some people, you know. I feel like I shouldn't be like introvert in Japan. Like that's the beauty of traveling as well. You like they always say, you are either introvert or extrovert, right? But you're kind of like that because of the people around you, you know, the people surrounding you. Like if you always stay in the same place, in the same village or in the same city, then you know you become this person, right? This personality that you have, how you see yourself. And I feel like the traveling, it has really opened my eyes to what I can be, what I can do, you know, the people that I can meet. I just think that's very interesting, you know. That's why I love traveling. Ever since I started, I fucking loved it. And the people that I met in Bangkok, people that I met in Bangkok, people that I met in Chiang Mai, they just have been amazing people, you know. Not all of them. We have this one guy, he cooked me. I will tell this story later, somewhere. It's fine. It also had something to do with fitness, you know, but we just weren't a match, I guess. That's a shame. But yeah, that's it. This is my first little intro video. Everything is like very not structured and going through each other. I'm sorry for that, but we all have to start somewhere, right? We all have to start somewhere. So now we're gonna do a little buying of the 7. Maybe they have like the electrolyte drink. So we're gonna go get that. I'm gonna go to the park, maybe have a smoke. Maybe have some dinner. And then we go to the hotel. And then we'll see how the day goes. I'll keep you guys updated. Ik moet ook even een intro zinnetje hebben, man. What's gonna be my intro zin, zeg maar. En my exit zin. I do like this. Bam. Nee, fuck dat. Moet een beetje uniek zijn, zeg maar. Snapte? What is something that I always say to my friends that I could also say to you guys? I could say, alright chief, catch you guys later, zeg maar. That's it. Catch you guys later, zeg maar. That's it. Alright bosses, catch you guys later, zeg maar.